Hello everybody. So San Diego Comic-Con just happened this past weekend and Marvel announced a ton of new projects, gave some updates on some already announced projects, and a lot of it sounds awesome. So today we're going to unpack it all and I'm going to give my thoughts on everything that Marvel announced at Comic-Con. So let's do this thing. So the first day of their panel, they talked about the animated stuff that they're going to be doing, and a lot of it sounds okay. So we got I Am Groot coming up in a few weeks. That'll be like a series of 5 shorts centering around Baby Groot's adventures. Obviously, I'm not the target audience for it, so I'm probably not going to check it out, but something's happening, so that's kind of cool. Then Spider-Man Freshman Year. It originally was supposed to be showing the origin story of the MCU Spider-Man, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but it seems like now with the stuff they've announced, with having like Doc Ock and Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, and Harry Osborn, and some other villains, Doctor Strange and Daredevil, voiced by Charlie Cox, which is awesome. But, with some of these, characters popping up in there that don't really make sense for them to have appeared prior to Captain America Civil War and everything we've seen, with Spider-Man since then. For them to have shown up before that and have left, it just doesn't really make sense with the continuity we've already set in the MCU. So it seems like this isn't going to actually be, set in the MCU universe. It'll be more of a very close, one step over alternate universe, branch timeline. I guess it's like if Norman Osborn was Peter's mentor instead of Tony Stark. So that's kind of interesting. I guess maybe that's the branching off point, but that doesn't really make sense for some of the other changes that happen. But we'll see. I think it's going to be cool, and I honestly think it's probably for the best that they're making it not set in the MCU, because there really wouldn't be that much interesting stuff you can do pre-Captain America Civil War with Spider-Man, because it seems like before that it was really just he was fighting lower level criminals around the city in his makeshift Spider-Man suit. So, yeah, so it kind of seems like it's probably for the best that they're making it not set in the MCU, having to follow the MCU continuity. It allows them to do more fun stuff, bring in more cool characters, and do more of a classic Spider-Man cartoon. Those are always fun. Side note, I've watched Spectacular Spider-Man recently, since it went on Netflix, and that is an amazing show. I think that is one of the best Spider-Man cartoons out there. And I'm kind of getting into them now. I think I'm going to start watching the Spider-Man animated series from the 90s. That's on Disney+, so might watch that also, but it's definitely cool that we're getting another Spider-Man cartoon, and I think it's for the best that it's not in the MCU. You could do more fun stuff, not having to be in the constraints of following the MCU continuity. I think there's more fun stuff you can do with it now, although I would like to see, at some point, Tom Holland's Spider-Man's origin story, even if it's just, like, a short. I think that would be cool, maybe just have, like, when like they used to do the MCU one-shots, maybe do like a one-shot for Tom Holland's Spider-Man's origin story. Just a quick thing, him getting the Spider-Bite, him finding out his powers. Probably not Uncle Ben, because I think we've kind of realized at this point Aunt May is filling in for the Uncle Ben role in No Way Home. We've seen that, so I think it's probably not going to be an Uncle Ben thing if we see an origin story for him. But I would like to see it at some point, and that would be cool. But obviously this is not it, and I think it's for the best. Then there's X-Men 97. I was born in the early 2000s, so I did not, I was not alive to really watch the original show in the 90s. So I don't have a ton of nostalgia for it. I know 90s kids have a ton of nostalgia for this. They're really excited to, see them bringing back that X-Men show. So that's cool. But it's not something that I'm really particularly have a lot of nostalgia for. But I do like the X-Men. I like the X-Men movies. I think they're really cool. And I'm excited for this. I'm going to watch it. I might end up watching the X-Men animated show from the 90s beforehand at some point also. just kind of get my knowledge of that show. And it sounds like an interesting show. It sounds like a cool thing. I can learn more about the X-Men, since my knowledge of the X-Men has really just come from the movies. So I can see more X-Men stuff in that animated show. So probably before X-Men 97 comes out, I'll watch the older show. But definitely excited for it, even though I don't have the nostalgia that 90s kids have, of course. Then they have Marvel Zombies, kind of a continuation of the What If Marvel Zombies episode. And it's going to be rated R, which is interesting. You'll get to see, animated zombie, bloody gore, everything you want from an animated zombie thing, Marvel zombie thing. So that's kind of cool that they're really going for it with it. I think the characters that they've chosen to be in it are kind of cool. We get some Phase 4 characters coming in. I think Shang-Chi's in it. I think you have some Eternals in it. Some other characters. So it's kind of cool that they've kind of, I don't think a ton of the characters that they have chosen to be like the non-zombie people are like really like A-list characters. But it's kind of cool that they have that they're like using the characters that they are. And I guess the more A-list characters are the zombies. So it's kind of cool. Excited for that. Very interested that they went for the rated R thing with it. So, or TVMA or whatever it is. That they're gonna really go hard with it and really have like all the bloody zombies, animated zombie stuff. Excited for that. And I think that's all the animated stuff. If I forgot anything, please comment below, but I think that was everything. So now we'll get into the live action stuff on the second day of the panel. And oh man, that is so awesome. Everything that was announced there. So start off, we get She-Hulk trailer. Pretty cool. I think it was a better trailer than the first one. I think it showed more of kind of what's going on in the show. I think the first one was kind of like, okay, this is weird kind of comedy in the MCU. I don't really know what's going on. This gave better idea. Her training with Bruce, the whole superhero law division thing, and more the comedy, breaking the fourth wall. That was interesting. So I think it gave me a better idea of what the show is going to be and got me more excited for it. And of course, the ending, the last few seconds of it, where they tease Daredevil. I wish I recorded my reaction for it. I wish I'd filmed the reaction for that trailer, because that last piece was like, I'll just reenact what I went through when I saw that. No, oh my god, it's, what? Yeah, so I was definitely very excited to see Daredevil show up. I've been watching Daredevil and all the Defenders stuff, since it came on Disney Plus. I've been watching through that, so definitely excited that Daredevil is coming into the MCU, really. We saw him in No Way Home, and we saw Wilson Fisk and Hawkeye, but it's cool that we're seeing more of him, and we're going to see even more of him as it goes on. But as time goes on, we're going to see more, but I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, She-Hulk trailer, I think got me more excited for it. Was much better than the first trailer and the Daredevil reveal. Very excited for it. Probably will happen like, late into the show, like probably like 6th episode or something. Which it's cool that it's 9 episodes. I'm hoping that Marvel is straying away from the whole 6-episode thing, because I've said this before, terrible format for the shows, so I'm hoping they're straying away from it now. It seems like they are, with another announcement that they made involving Daredevil. Again, get to that in a second. But anyway, I'll move on to Black Panther Wakanda Forever. We got our trailer for that, our teaser trailer. Didn't really show too much of the plot, who our new Black Panther is, who's taking on the mantle. It seems like, they're going with T'Challa died, because obviously in real life, Chadwick Boseman died, so instead of recasting the character, they're just going to kind of say T'Challa died between Endgame and this movie, and they're kind of, we're seeing kind of the aftermath of that, and somebody else will take on the mantle of Black Panther. We have yet to see who it is, but overall, I think the trailer kind of did a good job of showing like maybe the themes of the film and introducing us to, Namor, getting our first look at him and that whole kind of side of the MCU. But it didn't show a lot of the plot, and I kind of feel like I wish it did, because I think this is a movie that I want to know more about it. I think I need more to get excited for it, because I think without that, I think right now, I think it's interesting for the visuals. I think the visuals in this trailer were great, and the themes of it, and wondering who's gonna be Black Panther next. But I feel like I need more. I need a better idea of what the plot's going to be to get really excited for this movie. Because I'm really kind of confused on how they're gonna move forward with this kind of tragic situation of the main actor passing in 2020. So now you don't have your main actor for your movie, for the sequel to the movie. So very interested to see how they're going to handle it, where they're going to take the story to kind of, do something that feels right, make something that doesn't feel forced, doesn't feel like a weird choice to make, with this obviously terrible situation that they have to be put in, see how are they going to do something that feels right and respectful to Chadwick Boseman and everything. So, so I'm very interested to see what they're going to do with it, and I don't think I'm fully on board. I think I need some more of the plot, some more information for the plot to really get excited for this movie. But then, we got it confirmed that this movie is going to be the ending of Phase 4, and then we're starting Phase 5 with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. We'll get Kang in it, which that is awesome that we're going to get Kang. We already knew about that, but it's cool. We're going to get Kang introduced, the real Kang. Obviously, we saw He Who Remains in Loki, but this will be the real Kang variant in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So, very excited about that. I guess we'll see MODOK in it. That's pretty cool. And it sounds like we're going to explore the quantum realm a lot, which that's really exciting. I think we've really only scratched the surface of what the quantum realm can be used for. So I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with it. I'm expecting really crazy things going on. Kind of really cool visuals inside of the quantum realm. I guess we got a taste of it in Ant-Man and the Wasp when Hank goes into the quantum realm to get Janet back. And of course in the first Ant-Man film when Ant-Man goes into the quantum realm and comes out at the end of it. But this will be a movie where it's going to be completely in the quantum realm, or at least mostly, majority of it is going to be in the quantum realm, exploring it. I think that's pretty cool. That sounds awesome. So I'm very excited for it. Probably the most excited I've been for an Ant-Man movie. Then we got Secret Invasion, the Skrull Invasion. We'll have Nick Fury, Maria Hill, some other characters, dealing with this Skrull invasion. I think it'll be very Winter Soldier-esque, not knowing who you can trust, who's a human, who's a Skrull, who's on your side. It'll be very interesting to see. I think that sounds awesome. Very excited for that. I will say I kind of want that to be more of a bigger event than just a Disney Plus show with some, with Nick Fury and Maria Hill and some other characters. It seems like it's going to be kind of detached from the rest of it. I wish it was more of an Avengers movie event. Avengers Secret Invasion, where you can have a bunch of characters inside of the story, where I feel like now it's going to be a very limited amount of characters, very limited effects on the larger MCU. So I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be good. I think for what it's going to be, I think it'll be good. But I kind of wish they saved this for more of a bigger event. But it's still cool. I'm excited for it. Not sure how many episodes it's going to be, but I know it'll be a Disney Plus show. So very excited for that. And obviously seeing more Nick Fury is awesome. Samuel L. Jackson is great as Nick Fury. So very excited to see more of him and how they're dealing with the whole Skrull invasion. Very excited. Then we got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I really enjoyed the first two. Really enjoy the whole Guardians of the Galaxy team, all the characters. I think they're great, hilarious, and I'm very excited for this film. I think it's going to be great. Apparently, with the trailer or first look or whatever they showed at Comic-Con, people were crying. So I'm wondering why that is. What is this movie going to be? I assume it's going to be hilarious, but I guess very emotional. So, and then some emotional chords resonate with people. So, very excited to see what this movie is going to be. I guess it's going to close out the Guardians of the Galaxy arc in the MCU as we know it. So, very interested to see how it's, what this movie is going to be like, how it's going to close out this trilogy, the story for these characters, the humor. Obviously, that's a big part of these films, so I'm sure it's going to be a very hilarious movie, and very interested to see what kind of emotional chords it's going to hit on. So, definitely very excited for this one. Supposed to come out a few years ago, so it's long awaited. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I think it's going to be really, really good. Then Echo, kind of a spin-off of Hawkeye. I think it's a good enough idea for a show. I'm not particularly excited about this. I think, kind of like She-Hulk, the main reason I'm excited for this is because I think Daredevil is supposed to be in it, so I'm pretty excited, mainly because of that, and I guess, I assume Wilson Fisk will be in it also, so seeing those two come face-to-face again will be interesting to see. And as for the character of Echo, she's a good enough character as the side character, sort of the villain of Hawkeye, but I'm really not that much invested into her character, so, this isn't really one that I'm very excited for to see more of her character. I'm more excited for some of the other things that will happen in the show. Daredevil, Wilson Fisk. That's mainly what I'm excited about. Maybe some stuff coming from Hawkeye into it. But again, the character of Echo, not particularly that excited about. Then we got Loki Season 2. Very excited about this one, actually. I really enjoyed the first season of Loki. Ended on a pretty interesting cliffhanger, so I'm very interested to see where this is going. I'm wondering if the events of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania are going to kind of have some effects on this season, because we'll have Kang the Conqueror in it. I guess that variant has now taken over the new TVA, and so it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out, what the ending of Loki Season 1 meant, what it means for this season, King the Conqueror, how much of him are we going to see, how much of the events of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania are going to kind of bleed into this show. I'm very excited for it. Obviously, Tom Hiddleston, amazing job always as that character, as Loki, so anything where Tom Hiddleston is playing Loki, I'm excited for. I enjoy that actor playing that character, and Mobius. Seeing more of Mobius, more interactions between Loki and Mobius, very excited about that also. I think Loki was the fun show, and I'm excited to see what's in store in Season 2. Then, The Marvels, the sequel to Captain Marvel, and also sort of a sequel to WandaVision, and also sort of a sequel to Ms. Marvel, where we see Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, and Ms. Marvel, Kamala Khan, team up together in The Marvels against some villain. I don't know who the villain's going to be. I don't know what the plot's going to be. The post-credit scene of Ms. Marvel seems to set this movie up in a way that I am not really sure how, but if you haven't seen it, go watch it, but I'm about to spoil it. Ms. Marvel gets teleported back into her closet, and then Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, walks out, so it seems like they, switched places. I don't know what that means, so kind of interested to see what this movie is going to be, how this team up of these characters are going to work, what the premise is going to be, who the villain is going to be, what the threat is, what the story, everything. I'm interested. Not really particularly something that I'm insanely excited about, since I don't really, I'm not really that invested in any of these characters. Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, Ms. Marvel. Not really the characters in the MCU that I'm most invested in, but I'm going to see it, and I'm kind of interested to see what it's going to be. Then, Blade. I have not watched the original Blade trilogy, but I've heard it's good. The whole vampire hunter thing. Very excited for, what this is going to be. It seems like it's going to be kind of a darker movie, so I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be cool. At some point, I want to watch, before this movie comes out, the original ones to kind of get a better idea for this character. But, yeah. I'm excited for it. I think it'll be cool. Sounds cool. I've heard good things about, Blade, so, yeah, sounds cool. Then, Ironheart. So, this is the Disney Plus show where we're going to see, I think, Riri Williams take on the mantle of Iron Man or Ironheart. I guess she'll make her own Iron Man suit and kind of take on the Iron Man role. Sounds like a good enough idea. Not particularly excited about it. I think it seems like they're doing a lot of this gender swapping the original Avengers, so I feel like there's some other choices that they've already set up in the MCU that they could just have them take on the role of Iron Man. They could just have War Machine take on the role of Iron Man, or Pepper take on the role of Iron Man, or just have Spider-Man take on the role of Iron Man. It seems like you don't really need to have this other character come in, take on the role. I know it's from the comics, but it's not something I'm particularly excited about. I think there's some other routes they could have taken it that would have made a little bit more sense. But I'm going to see it. I think it sounds like a cool enough idea, so I like seeing things where people in metal suits are flying around, shooting lasers, missiles, and stuff, so I think it'll be cool enough. So, yeah, I'm kind of excited about it. Not insanely excited about it. Not particularly one of the biggest things that I'm, anticipating in these next few phases of the MCU, but it's a good enough idea. Then Agatha, Coven of Chaos. Yeah, I don't really know why they're making this, to be honest. Agatha was an interesting enough villain. We started off as a side character and then became the villain of WandaVision. It's been Agatha all along. She was good enough as that. I don't particularly think she deserves to have her own show. I think you could just make a WandaVision season 2 maybe instead and have her come back as the villain in that. But to give her own show, I don't exactly know what they're going to do with that. Maybe when they come out with more information about it, a trailer for it, I'll kind of understand it better. Of like why they feel the need to make this besides just a spin-off with this character, with this actress that people like. I don't know. It's not something I'm insanely excited about, so it's not something that it's probably the one that I'm least excited about, honestly, and the one that I'm the most like, why? Why are they making it? So I'll watch it, and maybe as time goes on, they'll have some more information that'll get me more excited and more like, getting to understand why they're making it, the actual premise of it, what purpose it has in the MCU story, this multiverse saga. Until then, it's just something that I'm kind of like, not sure why this is happening. Not sure that this was needed.
And I killed Sparky, too.
Before I move on to the next thing, I'll say, I just mentioned the Multiverse Saga, which is another thing that they confirmed at Comic-Con, that we are in the Multiverse Saga. Phases 4, 5, and 6 are the Multiverse Saga, Like the first 3 phases were the Infinity Saga. This is the Multiverse Saga, which I think was expected. They've been doing a lot of multiverse stuff, so I think it was kind of expected that this would be the Multiverse Saga. Kind of makes you feel like Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, should have happened later and should have been more multiversey if this is what the saga's about. Kind of wish they kind of saved it and maybe just made, as I've said in a previous video, made that movie Doctor Strange versus the Scarlet Witch instead of Multiverse of Madness, and save that for maybe Doctor Strange 3, when you could actually do some actually cool multiverse stuff instead of having to also have a Scarlet Witch thing going on. But anyway, we're in the Multiverse Saga. We're leading up to a multiversal war event, the title of which I will say later. But yeah, they confirmed officially this is the Multiverse Saga. But now, I'll move on to probably one of the things that I'm most excited for in these next few years of Marvel. Most exciting thing they've announced at Comic-Con. Daredevil, Born Again. And it's 18 episodes. 18 episodes. It's just, the biggest problem that these Disney Plus shows have had is that 6 episodes, completely the wrong amount. Completely. They're just, it's not enough to actually have a compelling, story for a show that actually has enough things developed in it. You can't do it all in 6 episodes, but it's way too much to have the pacing of a movie. So it feels like in some areas they are rushing through things, and in some other areas they're kind of slowing down and just kind of having some filler going on. And so I think this sounds like an amazing idea. 18 episodes. Fixing the biggest problem that Disney Plus shows have had. Bringing back Daredevil. Something that people have wanted since Daredevil Season 3 ended. And all of it got canceled. Daredevil got canceled. All the Defenders, Marvel Netflix stuff, all got canceled. But now, it's back. Daredevil is back. Unclear whether this is a continuation of what we saw before of the first 3 seasons, or if this is like a completely new show, a completely new version of the character that we're kind of seeing in No Way Home and She-Hulk and Echo, that there's not really going to be the other side characters. We know Wilson Fisk, Vincent D'Onofrio is going to be in it, so we know at least Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio are going to be in the show. Don't really know about anyone else that are in the cast of the first run of the Daredevil show, the first 3 seasons. Don't know if this is a continuation or if this is a reboot, what this is, but no matter what, this sounds exciting. Bringing back Daredevil, again, something people have wanted for so long, since Daredevil Season 3, and now it's back, and now it's happening. That is exciting. So, it's probably the thing that I'm most excited about. Yeah, that is so awesome. I can't believe it's happening. It's just so awesome. Then we got Captain America, New World Order, obviously Sam Wilson as Captain America. I really have always liked the idea of Sam Wilson being Captain America, so it's going to be cool to see him as Captain America in his own movie. I think I will say Falcon Winter Soldier, I can't help but kind of be like seeing how that kind of played out. Getting a bit nervous for this movie, like, is it going to be like that? Because that was kind of probably the most disappointing Disney Plus show was Falcon and Winter Soldier. It seemed like it could be such a good show, had a lot of potential, and they just kind of fumbled, and they just had a clunky story that didn't really make all that sense in some areas, and it was just weird pacing and everything, and just it didn't really come together the way we wanted it to. But I think the best part of it was Sam Wilson becoming Captain America, all of that stuff. So I think having this movie where he's Captain America for the entire thing, not trying to become Captain America, but now he's taken on the mantle. I think it's going to be good. I have high hopes for it. And I think I'm very excited for this. So I I am a bit nervous with how Falcon and Winter Soldier turned out, that this might end up coming out the same way. I'm optimistic for it. I'm optimistic that this won't be the same thing, that they will have learned from some of their mistakes, and maybe some of the things that happened in this might elevate that show, because we'll see some of the payoff for it. Maybe we'll see some of, like, the Sharon Carter stuff a bit more that didn't really make that much sense in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Maybe that will, we'll get more information about that in the movie that'll kind of elevate that plotline, and some other ideas in it too. Maybe this will kind of fix some of the show. So I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic. I think this will be a good movie. I'm pretty excited for it overall. Then, to finish off Phase 5, Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolts. This team that Elaine from Seinfeld has been putting together. We saw in Falcon and Winter Soldier, kind of recruiting John Walker, U.S. agent. Then, at the post-credit scene of Black Widow, her talking to Yelena. She's putting together a team of these anti-heroes, reformed villains that maybe are doing the work for the good guys for a price. Kind of Marvel's Suicide Squad. That's kind of how everybody's describing it. Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad. And I'm pretty excited for it. We obviously don't know a ton of who the roster is going to be, who the members of the Thunderbolts are going to be. We obviously know U.S. Agent John Walker is going to be in it. We know, I think Yelena is going to be part of it.
Hi.
It seems like it, because she was talking to Elaine from Seinfeld, so she might be on the team also, but we really don't know about anyone else. But it sounds like an interesting show. Not a show, it's going to be a movie. It sounds like an interesting movie, and I'm pretty excited for it. And I think it's going to be cool to kind of see what this whole thing with Elaine from Seinfeld showing up in the, Falcon and Winter Soldier and Black Widow last year, what that was all about, what that is leading to. Very excited for it. I think it's going to be cool. But then, that is not all that got announced at Comic-Con. Because Kevin Feige just gave us a little glimpse of what Phase 6 is going to be. He gave us the beginning and the end. To start off Phase 6, Fantastic Four. We obviously knew this movie was happening. We really only got a release date. That was kind of the only new information that we got about the movie. We still don't know the cast, the director, anything about it besides it is something that is happening, releasing on this date. I don't remember what it was exactly, but it's like, I think it was like November 2024 or something like that. That's all we really know, is that this movie is happening. I'm assuming we'll get some announcements, maybe at D23 in September. We'll get some more announcements of the cast and the director and all of that information about the movie. I'm so hopeful that John Krasinski will come back, that John Krasinski is going to be Reed Richards. Yeah, they've said they were kind of only doing that as it's an alternate universe thing. We're doing the multiverse, might as well give fans what they want. I'm hoping that's just to kind of throw people off that track, and that what's really happening is John Krasinski is going to be Mr. Fantastic in the Fantastic Four movie, and moving forward after that, in the MCU, in the main MCU timeline, Earth 616. Yeah, I know. But I'm hoping that's what's happening. It's getting less and less with everything we hear more about it, with that kind of them saying that this was only kind of to give fans what they want because they're doing the multiverse thing, might as well do it. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that this is going to happen. I'm starting to doubt it. I think as soon as, when Multiverse of Madness came out, I think I was like, it has to be. John Krasinski's, how could it not be? I think now I'm starting to be more like, it might not be. I'm so hoping D23, we get that reveal. John Krasinski walks out on stage. I don't know. That would be cool. But, if not, whatever. Still cool that we're getting Fantastic Four. I'm sure that it's going to be good. I'm sure that they're really going to work to make a good Fantastic Four movie, because obviously Fantastic Four movies haven't had the best track record. I've personally enjoyed the two that came out in the early 2000s with Chris Evans as the Human Torch. I personally enjoy them, but I know that a lot of people don't. I know that a lot of people are like, that didn't really turn out that great. So, but I personally enjoy them, but I think an MCU Fantastic Four can be great, and as much as I do enjoy those movies, I do recognize their faults. They weren't the best movies, so I recognize their faults, and I'm hoping that this movie can be a really, actually proper, good Fantastic Four movie, and it seems like they're taking their time to do it, to perfect it. They're not rushing into things. They're like, we gotta find a good director and good cast. So I'm excited for what this is going to be. Finally seeing Fantastic Four in the MCU. Kind of crazy that it's taken this long for them to appear. Obviously, since they didn't have the rights to it until they bought Fox. But we're going to finally get it. Start of Phase 6 in 2024. So, very excited. And then, the end of Phase 6. The end of the Multiverse Saga. 2 Avengers movies in 1 year. 2 Avengers movies in 2025. First, Avengers The Kang Dynasty. I guess that'll kind of be the Infinity War of this deal. The part 1 of this finale. Obviously, Kang will be the villain of it. That definitely sounds awesome. The Avengers, whoever the Avengers will be at that point, teaming up against Kang, and then a second Avengers movie that year. Avengers Secret Wars. Later that year, I think Kang Dynasty comes out in like May 2025. Secret Wars comes out in November 2025. That is awesome. That has been the number one thing that fans have said, that people have said would be the next thing Marvel can do to top Infinity War and Endgame. What could be the next big thing? Secret Wars. And they confirmed it. That's where we're going. Secret Wars. I don't know a ton about Secret Wars. I think there's something about Battle World. Something about Spider-Man getting the symbiote. I assume that's not where they're going with this, because I think the symbiote is going to be introduced through the post-credit scene, or the mid-credit scene of No Way Home, with Tom Hardy, Venom, leaving some of it behind. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I think we'll get some really cool, obviously, character interactions with that, with, of course, with these Avengers movies. All the characters coming together. Very excited for what that's going to be, what the Avengers roster is going to look like by that point. Yeah, I think that's really, really cool. 2 Avengers films in 1 year. 2 Avengers films. I'm hoping they're going to be good. I'm hoping they're going to do them right. I could easily see them, like, kind of falling short if they're doing 2 in 1 year, but I have faith that they're going to do them right. They're going to do the story right, and I'm very excited for where things are going leading up to Secret Wars. That's where we're going now. We kind of, I think we kind of needed this. I think previously we didn't really know where we're going with this stuff. We're doing multiverse stuff, we're doing Thunderbolts stuff, we're doing some other stuff that doesn't really seem to fit with a lot of it. I don't really know how the pieces go together. What are we working towards? I think it's good that they kind of announced, this is where we're going. This is where we're going towards. And so it kind of puts everything into context a bit more. It does kind of make Phase 4 seem a bit, unfocused, people have said. So, I kind of agree with that. It definitely seems like they were just trying a bunch of things. Maybe they were like, with these next 2 phases, we really be working towards the Secret Wars thing, so we kind of can't do these offshoot things. So if you're going to do these offshoot things, introduce these characters, introduce these concepts, do it now, because when we get into Phases 5 and 6, we got to be all out on working towards Secret Wars. I kind of feel like that's kind of what happened. But, yeah, overall, I'm very excited for everything that was announced at Comic-Con. And also, with Phase 6, There's like a ton of spots on there that they didn't fill in, so it's gonna be exciting to see like what are those? What are the projects they're gonna fill in those spots? And I also assume that all the projects that were announced aren't all of the projects that are gonna happen. I think there's some others that I think are gonna probably fit in there somewhere, because I think when they came out with Phase 4, there were some movies and shows that weren't on that timeline that obviously ended up happening. So I assume it's kind of going to be the same situation. We'll see some things happening. I think those are just things that are confirmed to happen at that release date time. And as time goes on, as more things get kind of greenlit and, confirmed to be happening, more things will go onto that timeline. So I don't think everything that is shown in phases 5 and 6 are all. I mean, obviously, phase 6, we only have 3 things in there, so obviously there's more happening. But I think it's going to be more than just the stuff we've been shown. So anyway, very excited for where the MCU is going, where phases 5 and 6 are going, what the future of this universe is working towards. Secret Wars, very exciting stuff, and of course, Daredevil coming back. Awesome. So awesome. That's definitely. I think a top Secret Wars, honestly. Like, yeah, 2 Avengers movies in 1 year is awesome, but I think Daredevil. I'm more excited for that. I think I'm more excited for Daredevil, honestly. That is just so awesome that they are actually doing it. They're actually bringing him back. That is so cool. That is so cool. So, yeah. I think this was a really great Comic-Con. Marvel really showed that they're still going strong. DC only had like 2 trailers, right? They just had the Shazam and Black Adam. Not to play the whole comics war game, but yeah, Marvel definitely at this Comic-Con showed DC. So DC who's boss. I'm sorry, but they did. Not to say DC doesn't have some good tricks up their sleeve. I think the Batman is amazing, so whenever they announce the Batman 2, that'll be great. But overall, Marvel's doing better. Anyway, though, those are my thoughts on everything that was announced at Comic-Con from Marvel. This is a lot longer a video than I wanted it to be, but I had a ton to say, so I'm happy that I finally got to get that out there, and I'm just excited for where Marvel's going. There's some really cool stuff that they have planned, so very excited for everything that was announced. Anyway, please comment below your thoughts on everything that was announced at Comic-Con, and remember to give this video a like, subscribing to the channel, and maybe check out some of my other videos. And with that said, that's a wrap.